Let's face it, songs are more than just catchy hooks and danceable beats. Behind every chart topper or underground jam, there's a story waiting to be unraveled, heartbreaks in disguise, social commentary hidden in metaphors, or entire fantasy worlds built in under 3 minutes. So, what better way to kick things off than with this summer's most unexpected soundtrack obsession? We're talking about the explosive, demon-slaying, beat-dropping phenomenon, K-pop, Demon Hunters. Whether you're a K-pop fan or just someone who couldn't escape these songs on social media, chances are they've already worked their way into your ears and your brain. Movie watched or not, this is your guide to decoding the heart behind the hits. Because in K-pop, Demon Hunters, every beat is a weapon and every word matters. Beyond the glossy visuals and fierce performances, the film's soundtrack delivers a layered narrative all its own. These songs tell stories not just of supernatural battles, but of inner struggles, cultural identity, sisterhood, and emotional growth. With K-pop at the heart of the film, executive music producer Ian Eisendrath shared, "I've always thought of K-pop as the most theatrical genre of pop, and so I was just instantly excited by the possibilities of what could happen in a narrative context with the K-pop songs, and incorporating actual, hit-making K-pop artists. I just felt like everything was really set up to be a special musical and narrative experience." So, how did those original songs come together? We will walk through the film's original tracks and how they fit into the film's overall narrative. So, grab your headphones, light a candle, in case of demons, and let's get lyrical. The film opens with this song, where members Rumi, Zoe, and Mira channel their confidence, strength, and unity as they take on both supernatural threats and the expectations of stardom. Through bold lyrics and a hard-hitting beat, they assert their power as demon hunters and performers, refusing to be underestimated or held back. The song reflects the film's central theme of fearlessly embracing who you are, even in the face of darkness. With lyrics full of sass, strength, and unity, the song celebrates girl power, teamwork, and fearlessness as they take down evil in style, showing the world how it's done. Producer Ian Eisendrath said, "It was so important that we had something that felt like a K-pop hit, and felt like when you first heard Blackpink, it had to have that energy. It had to set up a unique sonic world for these 3 girls and how they sing together, and it also had to be a banging opening number that everyone just was drawn into." We went through several different iterations, trying to find a beat and a tempo. We want to know that Zoe is this explosive rapper. Even though she looks so adorable and cute, she's like fire. And Mira is the Dennis Rodman of the girl group, just equally explosive, but you never know what's going to come out of her. She's the dancer. And then that really introduced Rumi as like, this is our diva. This is the person you're going to follow. You'll notice Mira and Zoe have 8 bars of rapid-fire rap, and then Rumi sings the bridge. That's where you realize, oh my gosh, that's going to be a voice that is spectacular, that's ultimately going to be taken away from her. So it's so important with that song, we fall in love with her voice and that we're already rooting for her sound. And if you think it really sounds like Blackpink, it's because Teddy Park was one of the producers. Producers took inspiration from West Side Story's Jet song, a rousing mantra for the acclaimed musicals Teen Street Gang The Jets, to set the stage for Huntrix's introductions. That's why we can hear the fierce, unapologetic, and full of attitude anthem since the first line.
You came at a bad time.
The demons who replaced Huntrix's pilots delayed their plane, almost making the 3 late to their performance. Something that highly irritated them.
But you just crossed the line.
The demon pilots expressed a plan to eat Huntrix's fans at the concert below the plane, something that enraged them.
'Cause I'm gonna show you how it's done.
The recurring line "how it's done" becomes a declaration of dominance, whether on stage or in battle, while also symbolizing their mastery of both their craft and their identities.
Heels, nails, blade, mascara. Sit check for my napalm error. Need to be my face, make it chew inside the.
Napalm was a chemical weapon infamously used by the US during the Vietnam War. Its usage was quite controversial due to its destructive nature on civilians. Here, the Huntrix trio reinforces the narrative that they are getting ready for a war of massive proportions. The tongue-in-cheek lyrics show their casual attitude to their duty as demon slayers, slotting weaponry right between the other kinds of things you'd actually expect a trio of young pop performers to care about.
Mirror, mirror on my phone, who's the baddest? Hello?
Similar to the famous line "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all," by the Wicked Queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, this line showcases Huntrix's unyielding confidence and strength as popular K-pop idols and powerful demon hunters, challenging any rivals who come their way and showing them how it's done. Giving it a more modern twist, since, being in the 21st century, our cell phones have become everything, even our mirrors. This line is a reference to the lyrics of Blackpink's song Boombayah. This line is a reference to BTS song Blood, Sweat and Tears.
My blood, sweat and tears.
This could be a reference to their later song, What It Sounds Like, where they learn to come together and accept their true selves, reflecting their past experiences and embracing their imperfections, rather than purely defeating evil with goodness and killing demons. The last line of What It Sounds Like is,
When darkness meets the light.
It could also refer to the childhood song she sang with Celine, Rumi's caregiver, about a demon hunter's role in protecting their world from demons.
When darkness finally meets the light.
In the song, Huntrix members, Rumi, Zoe, and Mira reflect on feeling lost, misunderstood, and hiding their true selves, but eventually embracing their identity and gaining strength as a team. With Golden, the film introduces the idea of the Golden Hanmoon. Rumi, Zoe, and Mira work to protect the world from demons and hope to accomplish that by sealing their universe off from the supernatural beings. When they do that, the Hanmoon, which is sort of the power that watches over us and symbolized as a big circular moon, will turn gold. When that happens, their job is done. In a traditional film musical structure, this is the I Want song. The whole point is, it's all going to be golden. We want to fulfill our destiny. Eisendrath shared. The song also explores Rumi's inner thoughts about feeling like an outsider. In the middle of the song is this bridge, with Rumi alone in her dressing room. Suddenly the song goes from being this inspirational pop to totally sotto voce, a little bit darker, as she's seeing the demon patterns on her arms and hearing Zoe and Myra's laughter through the walls. She's just looking at herself and realizing how completely isolated she is. She's frightened, but then she girds herself back up. So where Golden is the I Want song for all three girls, this bridge is a quick opportunity to check in on what Rumi wants, which is to seal the Hanmoon, so the scars go away and all the demon in her is gone. Eisendrath added,
I was a ghost, I was alone.
Rumi was born half human, half demon, as her father was a demon while her late mother, Ryu Miyang, was a human. When her mother died shortly after giving birth to Rumi, Rumi was raised by her caregiver, Celine, who was part of the Sunlight Sisters, K-pop group and demon hunter trio, with Rumi's mother. Only Celine knew of her demon heritage, and taught Rumi to hide her marks from young in order to fit in with other humans. Rumi, too, grew shameful of her demonic patterns, pushing her to suppress her true identity, but she could not confide in anyone else, not even her best friends, Zoe and Mira, fearing that her identity would be exposed. Rumi's secret makes her feel like she's not truly herself, akin to a ghost existing but not fully seen. She also feels alone as no one can understand her pain and anxiety when her patterns started to spread to further parts of her body, which made it more difficult to hide the marks. Moreover, her identity as a demon hunter made her even more pressured to hide her patterns and her demon identity, which is considered a dark side since demons were evil soul stealers in their world.
I live two lives, try to pick both sides, but I couldn't find my own place.
According to the opening sequence, where the fans talk about their favorite Huntrix member, they say that Zoe grew up in the US, and according to the music video, she seems to be torn between living in the US and South Korea when trying to fit into both cultures at the same time, due to her mixed heritage. For Rumi, this could be referring to her mixed heritage as a human and a demon as well. She struggles to come to terms with her heritage, as she had been taught to hide her demonic marks from a young age and was trained to be a demon hunter to slay demons of her kind. Despite being a demon hunter, She also developed feelings for Jinu, even though he is a demon and the leader of Huntrix's demonic rival boy band, the Saja Boys. She even struck a deal with him to help free his soul, asking him to make the Saja Boys lose at the Idol Awards so Huntrix can win and seal the Han Moon. Rumi's connection with Jinu is a big source of conflict with her identity as a demon hunter, which makes her question what was really her real place is in protecting the Han Moon.
Now that's how I'm getting paid. But that's real estate.
Mira hints that she was once a problematic child due to her rebelliousness and uncontrollable behavior, which caused tensions within her family. Now, because of her daring and bold nature, she earns her spot as a K-pop idol and a powerful demon hunter, receiving constant fame and wealth from many fans who love her wildness, which she proudly gloats about.
Gonna be golden.
The repeated phrase, "gonna be golden," symbolizes their unstoppable potential and the bright future ahead, as they step into their true selves proudly, while also alluding to the golden Han Moon concept in the movie, achieving which is the ultimate goal for Huntrix.
Waited so long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me.
The ostensible meaning of this line, to Zoe and Mira, would be to seal the Han Moon, defeat Kuema, and live their lives without having to constantly battle demons. Once they have fulfilled their goal, they will finally just be the highly admired K-pop idols that their fans love, since their fans have no clue about their second lives.
Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see.
But to Rumi, there is another meaning. She had been waiting for this opportunity to achieve a golden Han Moon so that she can finally get rid of her patterns and accept herself as she is. If the golden Han Moon is achieved, she would no longer feel shameful or fear over her demon heritage, and no one would discover her hidden identity as well, even her best friends, since her physical marks would permanently disappear. This would then allow her to be emotionally free of her past and be the true person she wants to be.
No more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born to be.
However, if Huntrix does succeed in sealing the Han Moon, Rumi would never truly accept her demon heritage, which is still an important part of who she really is. From a young age, Celine, Rumi's caregiver, had drilled the impression that anything demonic was contaminated, which made her hate her demon side and constantly hide who she really was. For Zoe, Mira, and their fans, they would relate to the idea of leaving patterns of negative behavior in the past since they were unaware of Rumi's demonic marks.
I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Our time, no fears, no lies.
This part is related to the last song. Later, when performing what it sounds like, Rumi finds the courage to acknowledge her demon identity and finally rejects the idea that demons are shameful, breaking free from her inner conflicts and truly embracing every part of herself.
You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
The Saja Boys are introduced with this upbeat track that leaves Huntrix, and the audience watching, swooning over their smooth vocals and undeniable swagger. The goal with the song, Isendras says, was to create one of those super bubblegum-y K-pop boy band songs in the style of a song like Butter, by BTS. It's the demons who are evil, but they decide to masquerade as a K-pop boy group, and just be the most appealing, innocent, charming people that have ever been seen performing a K-pop song. They first appear in an outdoor marketplace, already being swarmed by adoring fans. All of a sudden, everybody is transfixed by them, Isendras says. While the song sets up members' romance, abs, baby, mystery, and lead singer Jinu as unassuming heartthrobs, the lyrics hint at their sinister intent.
I need you to fill me up. 마시고 마셔봐도 상해졌지 않아. Licking lace snack cause you got it like that. Take a big bite, want another bite, yeah. 너의 모든 걸 나 원해. An empty feeling so refreshing. You're all I can think of. Every drop I drink up. You're my soda pop. It's done, I need a second round and pour a lot and don't you stop. I want it cold, I waited so long for a taste of sodas. You're my soda pop, gotta take every drop.
If you really look at them, the underpinning is like, we're going to devour you. We're going to eat you up. We are going to drink you up because that's what the demons do. they feed on souls. So it was like, how do we say that in a way that appears like an innocent, fun, K-pop bop, but actually it's expressing who these people really are and what they're really after? Eisendrath explains.
I waited so long for a taste of soda, so the wait is over, baby.
Demons, who were sealed away in the underworld, were unable to feed on sufficient human souls, drink their soda, due to the magic barrier protecting the human world, the Han Moon. After Saja Boys arrived in the human world and performed this song in public, many Huntrix supporters were mesmerized and became their fans instantly. By competing for Huntrix's fandom, the Han Moon weakened, which gave the Saja Boys an easy opportunity to steal their fans' souls so Kuema, the Demon King, can finally enter and dominate the human world once more.
I'ma look you up and take you down.
This song leads the original soundtrack for K-pop Demon Hunters and sets the tone for the action-packed story ahead. There are two versions, one by Twice and one by Huntrix. The song was written by Michelle Lindgren Schultz, who has worked with Twice on some of their lead singles, including I Can't Stop Me, Cry For Me, and Set Me Free. Lyrically, we can read the fierce determination of the film's main characters, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, who are on a mission to destroy every demon that threatens their fans. The girls are fighting to protect them from losing their souls. In this song, Rumi, Zoe, and Mira confront the inner and outer demons that hide behind charming masks, calling out deception, cruelty, and emotional manipulation. As their lyrics cut through lies and illusions, they prepare for the final showdown, refusing to hold back or show mercy to the darkness threatening their world. They're writing a song that is going to express their rage, their vengeance, and what they're going to do to these demons that are not only threatening the world, but also their careers. It's got to be hard, as an artist, to watch this other group, the Saja Boys, come in and steal all their fans. The idea of Takedown is this diss track that is going to scare away, intimidate, and drive away the demons.
It's a takedown.
The phrase "it's a takedown" becomes both a literal and emotional war cry, symbolizing their determination to destroy evil with full force while reclaiming their power.
So sweet, so easy on the eyes, but hideous on the inside.
After Huntrix realizes the Saja Boys plan to steal their fans, they immediately start to compose a new diss track to reveal the Saja Boys' demon background. This line refers to their meeting in the alleyway, where Zoe and Mira fall head over heels with Romance Saja and Abs Saja, for Romance Saja's mysterious demeanor and Abs Saja's abs. The Saja Boys quickly rack up fans for their boy next door visuals.
Whole life spreading lies, but you can't hide, baby, nice try.
I'm about to switch up these vibes. I finally opened my eyes.
When the girls realize the Saja Boys were demons, they want to expose them and show everyone that they are trying to steal their souls.
It's time to kick you straight back into the night.
Night here literally refers to the demonic realm from which the Saja Boys came. Huntrix isn't just fighting, they intend to banish or obliterate the boys.
'Cause I see your real face and it's ugly as sin.
When the girls realize the Saja Boys were demons, they want to expose them and show everyone that they are trying to steal their souls. The demon world is referred to as a sort of hell for corrupted humans. Despite the Saja Boys' sweet visuals, being demons makes them ugly inside and out. Because Huntrix are hunters, they were taught to hate demons, so they say that they know their real faces, and since demons have sinned and are like sins themselves, Huntrix says the demons are ugly as sins.
When your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred wanna grow out of my veins.
Demons, even humanoid ones such as the Saja Boys, have purple markings across their bodies to denote them as such. They're able to hide the markings somewhat, but they have a habit of showing them anyway. The patterns that the demons get on their skin when they hide as humans show their shame. Rumi also has these patterns because she is part demon. With venomous lyrics that serve as a battle cry against all demons, Rumi, who's half demon, struggles to sing the song. Because what this reveals is how much Mira and Zoe would hate her and want to destroy her if they knew that she had the demon patterns. As she's losing her voice and starting to deal with what can no longer be hidden, you see her in a studio trying to rewrite the lyrics and make them softer. Originally, Huntrix thought that demons were pure evil who stole human souls and had no remorse for their actions. However, After Rumi confides in Jinu and learns more about demons, she realizes that demons, similar to her, do feel emotions like shame and regret, but are controlled by Kuema, the demon king, unable to live freely of their own will.
Don't deserve to live, it's so obvious.
Mira and Zoe, Rumi's closest friends, believe that demons are worthless and can be killed in cold blood without guilt. This leads Rumi to believe that as a half-demon, she deserves to die. After her friends discover her heritage and literally point their weapons at her, Rumi's worst fears are confirmed, and she asks Celine to end her as she should have done long ago.
You'll be begging and crying, all of you dying, never miss my shot.
In the end, this song was never going to work because it was written from a place of hate rather than hope, and you can't end darkness with darkness, the answer is light. Jinu and Rumi share their deepest secrets and wants in an emotional ballad that explores the potential of what they could be together even with their opposing sides. This song speaks out about their own revelations about how both characters have grown love for one another, how they feel more comfortable, at peace, and overall how they've grown affection towards one another the more they see, spoke to, and shared little, somewhat, memories with each other. Yet both wonder how they can survive together when one has to get rid of the other in order for the sake of one mission. There are great walls between them and the whole thing is, what would it be like if we could be together and free? Because right now, we're not. They even hatch the plan that they're going to work together to eliminate the demon within them. At this moment, their idea of how to do this is wrong, but we're rooting for the fact that they both want to do this. And it's the moment that you really believe these two are going to end up together. The song is two people singing to each other, and sharing things they've probably never shared with another human in the world. It's like this musical picture of what they want to be in their life, and that they see each other. You believe that they're a team, and that they're going to go do this together, so we end that song with hope and being totally convinced of this couple. Ian Eisendrath says,
I try to sing, couldn't hit the notes.
Due to Rumi's demonic patterns rapidly spreading across her body, it affected her ability to sing, which caused her to lose her voice during a performance, abandoning the stage as a result.
But here with you, I can finally breathe. You say you're no good, but you're good for me.
When interacting with Jinu, Rumi feels relieved to be able to confide in someone who is like her, since Jinu was once a human.
Why does it feel right every time I let you in? Why does it feel like I can tell you anything?
Due to the loss of her voice, she was able to heal her voice a little by talking to Jinu because with no one else, other than Celine, her caregiver, knowing about her demon heritage, not even her best friends Zoe and Mira, she finally feels slightly at ease sharing her worries about her hidden demon identity with Jinu, knowing that someone can understand her feelings.
Time goes by and I lose perspective. Yeah, hope only hurts, so I just forget it.
Jinu traded his soul to Kuema, the demon king, in exchange for his musical talent and fame, abandoning his family in the process. He became a demon, bound to servitude for centuries and is constantly tormented by Kuema's voice in his head, who uses his shame to control and manipulate him.
But you're breaking through all the dark in me when I thought that nobody could. And you're waking up all these parts of me that I thought were buried for good.
But when Jinu is with Rumi, he no longer hears the voice, because he starts to believe that he can be a better person and that he can forgive himself for abandoning his family. In the end, Kuema's torture comes from his pain and misery, once he starts to understand that what he did to his family is not all that he is and can be. He stops hearing the voices in his head, and it's all thanks to Rumi showing him that despite being half-demon, she seeks to protect the world from Kuema.
Between imposter and this monster, I've been lost inside my head.
The imposter in Jinu is the perfect idol he presents to others, a mask to hide the shame in him. On the other hand, the monster part is his demon side and what he did in his past 400 years ago.
Ain't no choice when all these voices keep me pointing towards nowhere.
Immediately after this sequence, he is brought back to the demon world, under the control of Kuema.
I don't trust it, but I want to, I keep coming back to.
For both Rumi and Jinu, this line revealed their internal conflicts. Rumi did not trust her demon side, while Jinu did not trust hope or love. Throughout the film, they were constantly drawn back towards what they fear, with Rumi wanting to embrace her demon identity and Jinu wanting redemption for his past sins. To do so, they first had to recognize their emotional struggles that they had been running away from. For Rumi, she felt ashamed of her demon heritage and was taught to hide her patterns from a young age to fit in with other humans, due to demons being considered evil soul stealers. However, deep down, she wishes for self-acceptance and healing. She longs to be free of her shame, no longer having to hide her demonic marks so that she can express her true self to everyone. For Jinu, he had been living with guilt and shame for 400 years, believing that he abandoned his family for his wealth and talent due to Kuema's manipulation. He did not trust that he was capable of being a good person or worthy of being loved, thinking that any chance to redeem himself was just false hope. However, he still wished for forgiveness and a better future to escape from the demise he tormented himself with. Their connection fueled their wills to acknowledge and accept their flaws by helping each other, which created a cycle of facing their insecurities while still avoiding them out of shame. Rumi was drawn back to her authentic self, slowly accepting the fact that her demon identity is a valuable part of who she really is. Jinu was pulled back to the thought of being a better person and seeking a greater future, gradually believing in hope and love, which was later proven in his sacrifice for Rumi.
Why does it feel right every time I let you in? Why does it feel like I can tell you anything?
I couldn't sing, but you give me hope.
Despite suppressing her demon heritage, Rumi finds herself constantly returning to it, her authentic self, as she interacts more with Jinu, who is the only person who sees her for who she truly is. Through her connection with Jinu, she also begins to see that her demon side is not a monster, but a valuable part of who she really is.
We can't fix it if we never face it. What if we find a way to escape it?
For Jinu, he doesn't trust the idea that he can be a good person or be loved, thinking that any chance to redeem himself is just false hope. However, his connection with Rumi makes him want to choose redemption and love over a life of shame, escaping the demise and regret he torments himself with.
So take my hand, it's over. What if we heal what's broken?
Let the past be the past till it's weightless.
Jinu desperately wants to believe in this awakening of emotion, even though his past holds him back from reaching freedom. Later in the film, even after being manipulated by Kuema and falling back into his old ways, he is drawn back to Rumi and the promise of freeing his soul. His eventual sacrifice for Rumi represents coming back to the trust and hope she inspired in him.
I'm all you need, I'ma be your idol.
The Saja boys set their fans up for the villainous Guema to feast upon with this hypnotic track, performed in black hats and paranormal spectacle. They knew the story, and what they were going to wear, and so it just kept being called the Black Hats song. We just kept seeing these pictures, which were so demonic and chic. We went through a few different options but finally landed at the final version, which just feels heavy and dark and brooding, but also sort of thrilling. Eisendrath explained. Whereas Soda Pop was subtle and understated, Your Idol drops the veil and reveals the demon boy band in all their supernatural glory. The song needed to be dark and otherworldly. The song hits at the point in the film where the stakes are high, and it's a battle for the world. By now, they have so much power over their fans that they come out and say it. I'm going to be your idol. I'm going to be in charge of you. I'm going to rule you. You are no longer powerful. You are powerless. Your Idol also features a big choir from hell because it was like the mouths of hell opened up for this song, and is about to swallow everyone until Rumi intervenes, Eisendrath added. The song explores themes of obsession, power, and control, with the members, Abby, Jinu, romance, baby, and mystery, portraying charismatic yet ominous figures who promise comfort, salvation, and fame while subtly revealing a sinister agenda. Blending religious imagery with the emotional pull of idol culture, they lure listeners into devotion, feeding off pain and desire. Dies Irae is a Latin hymn traditionally sung in the Roman Catholic Church as a reminder of the coming of Judgment Day. This hymn, however, is not directly copied. For comparison, the original would translate loosely as follows: "The day of wrath, that day, will dissolve the world in ashes." Instead, your idol translates to the following: "The day of wrath, that day, you will turn to ashes." The part after favela is not found in the original hymn, but translated as follows: "Cursed, I will burn forever."
Keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed. Play me on repeat, 끝없이 in your head.
Kuema has the ability to speak into someone's mind, usually using this to break them to his will by whispering their greatest guilts and fears, as he can also play memories on repeat endlessly in their head.
I can be your sanctuary. No, I'm the only one right now. I won't rock you more when it opens up.
This part reflects the group's complex role in the film, blurring the lines between saviors and tempter.
I'm the only one who loves your sins.
In line with much of the religious imagery, the entirety of your idol can be taken as representative of the toxic response to sin and shame, seeking comfort and compromise so you can remain immovable in self-harming habits. Doing so doesn't address the root of the problem, it only accepts the problem as if there were none in the first place. As an added note, this is in direct contrast to the lyrics of Free.
What if we both try finding what we're running from? We can't fix it if we never face it. What if we find a way to escape it?
Unlike Free, which represents light being shown onto shame so it can be conquered, your idol represents allowing shame to hide in darkness so it can live on forever. This line could also be intended to Rumi from Jinwoo, is his way of telling her that he is the only one who truly accepts her the way she is due to the connection they share by both having the demon markings.
Listen, 'cause I'm preaching to the choir.
The phrase "preaching to the choir" means to speak favorably about something that you know the other person already agrees with. The Saja boys sing about Kuema and how their audience should all give in and let him in so that they can all attain their desires. They assert that the audience they are singing to needs no further convincing, as they are already head over heels for them.
Don't let it show, keep it all inside. The pain and the shame, keep it out of sight.
Kuema works by causing his victims to self-isolate, making them easier to control when they only have him. As well, this references how Celine tells Huntrix to keep their fears and faults out of sight, as not to disturb the Han Moon. This also could reference Rumi's demon marks, which she hides as a result of Celine's words.
Your obsession feels like an addiction. You soon gonna give me all your attention.
When the Saja boys made their first appearance with Soda Pop, fans instantly became obsessed with the new boy group, which gave Saja boys easy access to feed on human souls. As more people shifted their attention from Huntrix to the Saja boys, the fans' souls were no longer united and the protective barrier to shield demons away from the human world, the Han Moon, weakened, allowing more demons to infiltrate and steal more souls from the fans. As the Saja boys performed the song during their final performance, after the Idol Awards, they managed to control everyone's minds through their obsessions and brainwash them into walking towards the stage. This allowed Kuema, the Demon King, to mass feed on the fans' souls.
Yeah, I'm all you need, I'm a big your idol.
This line becomes both a promise and a warning, hinting at the cost of blind admiration and the danger of surrendering oneself to illusion. The bridge of the song is reflecting on the purpose of Kuema of wanting to feast on the souls, therefore saying that no one is coming, that till Rumi arrive and sings this is what it sounds like.
I will make you break when you're all a part of me.
Jinwoo is referencing that he will set human souls free when he steals them, which also links to how he wants to be set free. From Kuema's perspective, it represents how he tricks humans into serving him by making deals with them in exchange for their souls. Through these deals, he offers to fulfill one's desires to set them free from their hardships, but this freedom will eventually become a trade-off for a new form of captivity as the victim becomes part of him, either metaphorically, as with Jinwoo and the other demons who do Kuema's bidding and serve as reluctant extensions of his will, or literally, for the souls he consumes. Also, I will make you free links back to the Huntrix's goal, the golden Hun Moon. Rumi told Jinwoo that once the Hun Moon is golden, all demons will be gone, and so will the patterns. Part of me just has a slight link to the fact that the Hunmoon and Kuema have similar yet opposite mindsets. The Hunmoon seals the demons away forever, whilst Kuema wants the same for the hunters. Part of me may suggest that although both sides are very different, they both need the same thing to survive: fans.
Can I get the mic a little higher?
The Saja boys are ascending in the visual, symbolic of the elevation of their status as the heroes of the Demon King. Also, with all of the audience under their hypnosis, it would signify their ascension to godhood, how indistinguishable their worship is from actual deities.
Watch me set your world on fire.
Due to their fans' overwhelming and intense obsession with the Saja boys, the demon boy group is confident in asserting their power to completely destroy and take over the human world, be it through controlling their fans or consuming their souls, making a dark promise to burn away everything their fans once had. Fire could also refer to Kuema, the Demon King, whose appearance resembles an enormous fire. Since the Saja boys are Kuema's minions, this line could be influenced by him, not just wanting to destroy, but also corrupt and manipulate humans into serving him. In this song, Rumi takes the lead in this heartfelt track as she confronts the painful truths of her past, inner conflicts, and her skin patterns. Joined by Mira and Zoe, the group reflects on their mistakes, the damage they've endured, and the beauty they've found in embracing their imperfections. The song serves as a turning point in the film, marking a moment of healing, honesty, and reconnection among the girls. The film draws to an epic conclusion with an energetic finale track that is both a hit inspirational pop song, but also delivers on Rumi's journey, realizing that this whole plan to seal the Hunmoon and get rid of all the demons is evil. Rumi, finally figuring out what her mission actually is, decides to destroy the Hunmoon along with the notion of demons versus humans. And acknowledge the fact that we're all unique, that we're all individuals, and get to be individuals. That is what creates harmony. Eisendrath said. As Rumi spreads this message through song, she's also calling back souls from the demonic world. You see them completely lost. They're powerless, and through this song, through her showing up, and being herself, people awaken, and they start to make music together. What it sounds like is this incredible roar from all the people in the stadium, all the people in Seoul, all the people in the world. It really cements that idea of the film that music brings us together. Connection is what we all need to survive, and connection can only be as real and authentic as people are, the music producer added.
Nothing but the truth now. Nothing but the proof of what I am. The worst of what I came from, patterns I'm ashamed of.
Initially, Rumi was deeply ashamed of her demon heritage, and her demon patterns were a reminder of who she really was inside. She grew to hate her demon identity and tried to cover it no matter the cost. However, after her identity was exposed during the Idol Awards, she finally learned to accept her true self and embrace the imperfections that made her who she is now.
We listen to the demons. We let them get between us. But none of us are out here on our own.
This references when Rumi was tricked by two demons posing as Mira and Zoe, exposing her as a half-demon, and the real Mira and Zoe found out as well, and after splitting up, Kuema uses their insecurities and struggles against them. This references when Rumi was tricked by two demons posing as Mira and Zoe, exposing her as a half-demon, and the real Mira and Zoe found out as well, and after splitting up, Kuema uses their insecurities and struggles against them. Aside from being a literal reference to the events, this line also references how the girls' own individual insecurities prevented them from truly connecting. Rumi was too ashamed of her demon heritage to allow herself to be open with the girls, closing herself off from social situations, like going to the bathhouse, and trying to fix things on her own. Mira never fit in with her family and, therefore, was always skeptical about whether she truly belonged with Zoe and Rumi and if she deserved to have a family that supports her. Zoe felt too much, yet never enough regarding her bubbly personality, as though she couldn't be the glue the more reserved Rumi and Mira needed to stick together. In this song, however, it's only when the girls allow themselves to be vulnerable that they start harmonizing again, both in song and in friendship.
We broke into a million pieces and we can't go back. But now we're seeing all the beauty in the broken glass.
This part can be linked to what Eugene O'Neill wrote in his 1928 work, Strange Interlude: "If you pick a lie to pieces, the pieces are the truth." This means that once Rumi broke away to reveal her biggest lie, to be part demon, the only thing left was showing the truth, being herself, and that despite her imperfections, she had learned to accept and see both the truth and the beauty in her true self.
The sky's a part of me, darkness and harmony.
Rumi is referring to the emotional wounds she acquired because of her patterns, which are now accepted as a part of who she is, and this acceptance allowed her to find harmony with Mira and Zoe.
Why do we cover up the colors stuck inside our head?
This is a reprise of Zoe's line in the first chorus.
Why did I cover up the colors stuck inside my head?
While growing up, Zoe did not freely share her thoughts and ideas, colors, because people would label her as weird. Now this part is extended to the whole group as indicated by the use of we, referencing that all of the girls had to accept themselves at some level.
Get up and let the jagged edges meet the light instead.
This is a reprise of Myra's line in the first chorus.
I should've let the jagged edges meet the light instead.
Mira felt like she didn't belong in her family, and instead of opening up, she chose to stay closed off and distrustful of those around her. But she found a family in Huntrix who would support her just as she is if she allowed them in. Now this part extends to the whole group, referencing that all of the girls had to show themselves at some level.
Show me what's underneath, I'll find your harmony. Feelings and undefined, this is what it sounds like.
At the beginning of the film, the Han moon was just blue, with gold showing the places it was strengthened. The pink color associated with demons showed where it was weakening. When Huntrix made a brand new Han moon, it was made up of all three colors. Its strength came from them embracing their imperfections. The audience joins in, humming the melody of Golden. It shows that slowly the audience is coming back to consciousness, and with their inclusion, the power of their souls was being lent to the three girls, which created the new Han moon. As they sing, the new Han moon appears, shimmering in rainbow colors, showing Huntrix has achieved their goal.
My voice without the lies, this is what it sounds like. Feelings and undefined, this is what it sounds like. When darkness meets the light, this is what it sounds like.
The repeated phrase, "this is what it sounds like," symbolizes their journey towards self-acceptance and unity, where vulnerability becomes their strength and their shared scars create harmony. Through haunting vocals and poetic lyrics, Huntrix reclaims their voices, not as flawless idols, but as real people choosing light over silence. Rumi is singing in her most authentic, rich, not squeaky clean K-pop sound. What she says is, "This is my voice without the lies. This is who I really am. This is what I look like. These are my patterns. This is what it sounds like." And we wanted it to be like a battle cry. Shared Eisendrath. From the first beat to the final note, the soundtrack of K-pop, Demon Hunters is more than just background music, it's the heartbeat of the story. Each lyric hides a battle cry, a confession, or a clue to the character's fates, blending the shine of the stage with the shadows of the underworld. Whether it's a power anthem disguised as a pop banger, or a tender ballad whispering the team's fears, these songs are chapters in disguise. So, the next time you press play, listen closer. Beneath the hooks and harmonies, you might just hear the demons breathing, and the hunters singing. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more.